So I went for a hike in the Wissahickon Valley this weekend, or the trail this weekend. Like I'm not, like I'm the guy. I'm not an outdoor person. Like I'm the guy who looks at paradise and says, like, were you aware that this could be a parking lot? Like I like nature. I just don't. I don't know what it's for. Like. I mean, I don't, like, it's nice, and so, but I knew I was hosting this slam, so I was like, I gotta get a story, so I went walking on the trail, and I walked, like just because I was like, maybe I'll get, like, bitten by a snake or mugged, and I'll be like, it's nature, it's stupid, right? Like, and there's like, oh, my phone died, because there's nowhere to plug in a phone, and, like, I didn't know, like, I thought, like, there's, like, some, like on the subway, there's that one little hidden outlet, you're like, I got it, assholes, but no, there's nothing, and, like, I read a blog that was like, you need to wear like shoes that can like withstand all terrain, like sometimes rocky terrain. So I was like, well, like tap shoes, clearly, because they have hard soles and like they chase away bears. Anyway, so that's that. So anyway, nothing happened. So there's no story there. So I'm going to tell you a story that you might have heard. I know that was all nothing. Don't do that when you come up here. I'm literally the worst storyteller in the entire world. Ha! Okay. So anyway, the other thing I hate more, and thank you. Tip your waitress, and good night. So anyway, all right. So really quickly, so the other thing I hate more than nature is communication, like telephone. I don't understand why my phone needs to be used as a phone. Like it's for Facebook and Candy Crush and selfies and like I'm just really like anti-telephone conversations. Like I really don't like them. And like it's something like literally if you look, the first story I ever told here at a StorySlam was about how my parents don't call me and I don't call them and it's a big thing. And literally like 5 years later, me and my like 12-year-old therapist like Kelsey are still talking about it. Like we're really like she won't let it go. She's like, you gotta call. I'm like, I'm like I can't. Like I'm just like my fingers are I'm handy capable. I just cannot. I can't dial a number. So anyway, so a couple years ago, I hadn't used the phone to call my parents, and I was feeling this sort of like absence, and I really like we had been a little bit estranged from each other, and so it was a surprise to me that my phone rang one day, and it was my mother on the other end, because she doesn't ever call me either. Like she's like, we'll have these conversations like phone works both ways, and she's like, well, I'm 60, I'm not going to change, and I was like, well, I guess neither one of us is then, because I'm not going to change. But she called me, and she was like, we miss you. Your dad and I want you to go on vacation with us. And they were going to fly over from Baltimore to Seattle and then drive down the Pacific Coast Highway. And I thought, well, what better way to mend sort of a semi-fractured relationship with my parents than to spend 8 days in a car with just them. This was my first trip out west, and it was a bit disorienting. And like disorientation, like literally means loss of the East. So you can put that in a paper if you'd like. And it was weird to me because I hadn't been on vacation with my parents as an adult, and I didn't quite know what to do, and I was stressed about it. And so like I did what I always do when I'm stressed. Like I eat a lot of baked goods, and I exercise lacklusterly, and I update my Facebook status. And so that's like, literally I was just like, I'm ready to do it. And like, I'm literally like, the minute we got there, we got on the airport shuttle, and like, they were playing an NPR broadcast about like vaginoplasty, and like, sitting there between my two parents, and I'm like at the age I was like 28, and vaginoplasty is like fixing up your la-di-da, and like, they're like talking about it very graphically, and I'm like, so, yeah, Seattle. Anyway, my mother hates that I'm always on the phone, using Facebook. She's always like, and so we started driving, and I'm sitting in the front seat, she's in the back seat, and she just would keep leaning over, and she's just like, what are you doing? Because she has a suspicion about it. She always thinks that like I'm conspiring with like 6 million of my friends. Like when I started telling stories and they started showing up on YouTube, she was like, your friends on the internet know about this? You telling your friends on the internet about me? I'm like, yes, my friends on the internet. So I'm telling my friends on the internet. So she would lean over and she would just say like, are you tweeting on the Facebook? And like that's are you tweeting on the Facebook about me? And I'm like, Mommy, that's not something you can do. And she's like, don't tell me what you can do on the Facebook. I know what you can do on the Facebook. I've seen the movie. You might think that she was talking about the Social Network, the Facebook movie. She's not. She's talking about The Net, starring Sandra Bullock. So anyway, so the trip, it was an old people vacation, and it was a little, like, it made me a little bit crazy. Like, there were moments where they just would, like, bicker for, like, 7 hours about whether they had to go to the bathroom or not. And, like, I'm just, like, in the back, like, just, Like nothing. Like, and I didn't know, because they have a habit. They take pictures of everything. And then, like, my mother will get out of the car and take a picture of something, and my dad will take a picture of my mother taking a picture, because we're meta like that. And then they'll climb back into the car, and then they'll drive on, they'll stop at every rest stop, make friends with everyone, buy one magnet, get back in the car, have dinner at 6, and then they're in the hotel room in time to watch Bones. And that's how they vacation. And I didn't know what to do. I had all this free time at the end of the day, and so I would just go back to my room, and I took all these pictures on my phone, and I would upload them to Facebook, because I want my friends to look at my life and feel bad about theirs. But midway through the trip, I started, like, the coping mechanisms weren't working, and this was before I started working with, you know, my, like, 12-year-old therapist, Kelsey, and so I literally just taste the cakes, just taste the cakes. So we get to Crescent City, California, which is a big flat city with a huge hill at the end of it, and we start driving one morning up the hill to go into the Redwood National Forest, and the clouds are, like, lying low, like maybe midway up the trees, which is, I don't know, like 1,000,000 feet up or something, I don't know. And my mother's really excited about this day, because she wants to go see a tree that she's found on a map. Called the Big Tree, so we're like, yes, we're going to go see the Big Tree, and we start to climb up, and as the fog starts to envelop the car, like, my signal disappears, and I am alone with them, and they were just like, it's just nothing, just like mist. It looks like twilight. It's just like awful, like, but no one is glistening, and nothing is good. And so we're driving on, and so after maybe an hour of driving, my mother, like, grabs my dad's arm. She's like, "Bob, stop the car." Slam on the brakes, and she's like, she looks, and she sees a sign that says the Big Tree, but it's like one of those informational signs, like the brown highway signs. So she gets out of the car, and she looks to the side of the road, and she takes a picture of a tree, and then she shakes her head, and my dad takes a picture of her taking a picture of the tree. And then she looks at another one, and then she's got, like, a time and compass out, and she's, like, measuring. She's like, "Is this the Big Tree? I don't know. This is bigger than that one." And I'm just like, and then a car full of Germans pulls up behind us, and they're all like, "Where is the Big Tree? Where is it?" And, like, there's no cupcakes in the back of the car. I'm, like, looking at Snickers wrapper, I'm doing push-ups by the side of the road. I'm just like, folks, listen, you're looking for the Big Tree. If you don't know where it is, you probably haven't found it yet. It's a big tree. The Germans are like, he's correct! And so they jump back in the car, my parents jump back in the car, and we drive on. And eventually we did find a picture of the tree. It's really fucking large. It's a big tree. This is a big tree. My mother insisted on taking a picture of me and my dad in front of the tree, and, like, it literally just looks like we're standing in, like, some sort of, like, romper room. It looks like wood paneling behind us. Nothing but that. My mother asked me, like, that night, you know, she's like, "What do you do while we're sleeping?" And I was like, "Oh, I put up, you know, Facebook, and you don't want to know." She's like, and she asked me to show her, like, one of the Facebook photo albums. And she's a big scrapbooker, and, like, that's, like, all the pictures. She had thousands of pictures, and all the pictures sort of go back into these scrapbooks. And she said in the past, she's like, "I don't know what you guys are going to do with these scrapbooks. When I go, I can just throw them away. They're other people's memories." And I said to her that night, I was like, "You know, these Facebook albums are just like your scrapbooks. Like, they're memories. They're a map that gets you to a place where you weren't necessarily there." And I would like those scrapbooks, I said to her, to get back to a place where I didn't know you, or didn't know you as well as I wanted to. I got back to Philadelphia, safe and sound. My internet was restored. I had six chocolate cakes, and my equilibrium returned. I don't print out photos. I don't know how to do that. But I did send one to, like, Snapfish or something, and I got it printed out, and I had it framed. And I didn't want to start a scrapbook, but I wanted just one photo to sort of remember the trip. And it's a picture of my father taking a picture of my mother, taking a picture of a tree that is not the Big Tree.